Well, hello there, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and it's the day we've all been waiting for. Today is a day for us to look at the new annual Stampin' Up catalog for 2025 to 2026. I don't know about you, but I have been waiting for today and to get my hands on this. And, I could have shown you page by page today, but I'm going to monitor myself here. And I'm actually going to share highlights of the catalog for you. And if you don't have a catalog, know that you can get one from me. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to share a hard copy catalog with you. And you can get your hands on that by emailing me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. And I would be happy to put one in the mail. The other thing that you can do is you can look online. You can go to my website, www. or plumcrazystamping.com, and you can see it there. And I will also be putting a link right here on my business page. And you can look on YouTube and get a peek at this catalog as well. So let's see. What's the other business of the day? Wow, with all of this going on, I want to let you know that I have a new free tutorial for anyone that wants to make a purchase from the new catalog or the online exclusives. I have a new, now let me get this so that you can see it, a new 4-card free tutorial featuring the mixed media florals. Now, these are one of the online exclusives, and you can use these tutorials for whatever stamps and or product suites that you have. So this is free, something I email you if you order $50 worth of Stampin' Up! From me during May. Let me just make sure I've got my sound the way I want it here. Here's the catalog. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started because lots to cover. Just a reminder, if you haven't signed in, please let me know who you are and where you're watching from. And if you're on YouTube, please make sure you are in your Google account or YouTube account, and then you can also sign in using those comments. So the first question I have is, do you have the annual catalog? So in the comments, let me know if you have a catalog and if you've already taken a look. And we're going to get started. And this catalog does look different than last year's. I think there was a lot of feedback about some concerns with the new format. And so Stampin' Up! Took those suggestions that you made to heart and have made improvements, I think, that will help you to look through the catalog and use it like a tool. They have kept some of the good things that I think they added last year, and that's by sharing ideas and more information about the products. That actually helps you in your crafting. And hello, Betty. Nice that you were able to join today. So we're just going to pop through here. I do have things marked, trying to keep us on track here. One of the things that I really liked that they featured just in the beginning, and something I also, besides whether or not you have a catalog, I ask you, what is your reason for crafting? So I would appreciate it if you would put in the comments, and whether you're watching live or on replay, what's your reason to craft? Maybe you need a sympathy card for someone. Maybe you like to use the designer paper to wrap things. Maybe you like to have thank you notes on hand if somebody does something extra nice for you unexpectedly. Maybe you like to use these products to decorate your table or to start a party with invitations. Maybe you like to do party favors. What about mini scrapbooks when you have an event? Put together some of your pictures to make a mini scrapbook. What about birthday parties? And these are also wonderful gift card holders you can make. So think about your why you craft. Okay, and we all know there's a lot of different ways that we like to do paper crafting, right? So the beginning of the catalog is step by step. So one of the things that is featured, and actually at least 2 new kits are brought out every month. So I'm just sharing with you one of the ones that has intrigued me and I'll be ordering is this one called Sympathy and Support, or it's for Sympathy and Support, but it's called the Beautiful Blues Kit. And it is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the different finished cards that are a part of this kit. You get a stamp set and the acrylic block. You get adhesives and gems, as well as the beautiful card bases, envelopes, and die cuts, and things to make these cards really fantastic. So we'll be having a kit event and get to look at this together. Now, I couldn't put my hands on it, which will give you an inside scoop of the state of my craft room right now. But the Heirloom Arrangements Kit is amazing. I think I made at least 27 cards doing this in the last kit event. I was amazed by the amount of die cuts and ideas that were presented in this kit. And I have leftovers that I can even make more cards out of this kit. So 27 cards and counting. So just this is on page 11 if you're following along in your own catalog. So those are, you want to sit down, you don't want to think about the projects, you don't want to have to design anything, and you just want to get paper crafting. These are awesome for that. And I want to say welcome, Glenda. Thank you for signing in. All right, let's move forward here to another cool feature in this catalog is they have page 22 is about challenging yourself. And, pick a combination of colors and challenge yourself to make cards. Maybe challenge your friends. See if they want to come over and tell them, today we're going to do something. It's the 4th of July, so we're going to make cards that are red, white, and blue. And then you all sit down and that's what you make, and maybe you share those cards with each other. Or you pick a stamp set, a couple of stamp sets, some designer series paper, and if you're having friends come over or you're just doing it yourself, you put those out on your desktop and those are the supplies you use and see what you can come up with. And then the other thing is look at the sketches that are there's a number of sketches in this catalog. There are sketches you can get online, you can get on Pinterest, you can get from me, and just use that sketch, that design, and go ahead and challenge yourself to make new card designs. So it's a way to keep things interesting, and I love that they remind us about that in the catalog. Okay, then we have what we call quick options. Okay, so these aren't necessarily designed for you, but these things help you to make things easily because they have parts and pieces and die cuts and sentiments ready for you to go. Now, the key to having this make your card making quick and easy, these ephemera packs, which are down here on the bottom of page 29 of the catalog, is that they are nearby. I have to tell you, prepping for today's overview, I had to dig for these. I wasn't quite sure where I had put them, and I found that they were by my 6x6 paper. But make sure that you put these in a place where you can find them, and then you'll use them. So the fully flowering one, I'll actually open up a bit, but I've had labels and layers. And I actually have bought a couple of these because these are all about making sentiments. And so they have sentiments already made for you in the ephemera pack saying something. They have one focused on birthdays, and then they have more sentiments for all occasions. And I'll tell you, this is something that really can speed up your card making. What I like about this is, I think I've shared with you, I really do enjoy florals. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be sharing a fun fold class next week, and it's all about florals. Now, this actually, rather than stamping, I could use this ephemera kit to make my cards and just focus on using fun fold designs. So aren't these gorgeous? Very large, black and white that you can color. There's a couple of pages of each kind of the different flowers. A lot of foliage in addition to this. More things you can color and ones that are already colored for you. But just think, put this on a card base using designer series paper or not. Color this in or use the black and white and use one color to make it pop, and your card, add a sentiment, and you're done. So these are really convenient and can help you when, you're not feeling very creative, perhaps, or like you have a lot of time. These are a great way to get something done quickly. All right, let's go to, now, I don't know about you, but this is a wonderful idea, and I've actually made cards this way. So if you're starting out, or if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you have a number of these spots, you can easily drag the spot and make stripes of color on your cards. And I really love this. Just take the square and turn the Stampin' Spot upside down and use a variety of colors, and you've got a perfect background for your card. I really love this idea, and this is on page 33. And they've done this a little differently this year as far as the colors they're offering. And you can get 5 of them for $19. And then you can also, at another spot, get it? You can get blank spots, and you can use re-inkers and make your own spots. So this is a nice card idea they have in here. Okay, so don't forget about the stamps we've bought before and mix and match them with the new things. So they have areas in the catalog where they feature returning stamps. And 2 that I'll just point out to you that I find myself using over and over are, they have one, Simply Said. I have Softly Said, so don't forget they have Simply Said. And then they have With You in Mind. This stamp set, thinking of you, thank you, best wishes, and happy birthday, and in a pretty large font, is perfect for any card you want to make, and use beautiful designer series paper, add the sentiment, and you are good to go. So nice stamp set. Okay, I want to show you 2 on this other side on my wish list. So they are featuring a new circle punch in this catalog that is 1 7/8 inches. So just a little bit smaller than the 2-inch we've had available to us. But anyway, this stamp set has a variety of sentiments that fit perfectly with this new punch. And if you have not used circle punches for your sentiments, just know that is a very quick way to add a sentiment to a card. Stamp it on a piece of basic white, punch it out, and you've got a gorgeous sentiment. Okay. One of the things in the last catalog, which I think was challenging for people, was to find the areas of the catalog where there were a set of products grouped together that they may be looking for. So they have helped that issue by page 38 here is a summary of the areas of the catalog where you can go find things. So like your stamping tools, page 111. So we can just go to 111. And they have some basic parts and pieces that you need, the acrylic blocks, the stamp cleaner, the Simply Chamois, and some ideas about how to use the acrylic blocks in your card design. Okay. Then they have that you can go to pages 112 and 113. And I'm just going to take my Post-it note off there. And here's all the information on adhesives. Now, the other thing that I like is in the catalog, they've actually put more information in the information about the ink, about how to use it. I'm actually going to be putting together a guide for you about different adhesives and the tips and tricks to using that. So I'll just kind of put that out there and keep that in mind. But here's all the different kind of adhesives you can choose from, and you can purchase them all from one place. Let's see, they have bunches of punches. So page 105, you can go, and you don't have to just look at the product suites. They have the ones that are currently available right here. Now, I'll remind you that we also have punches available in the online exclusives, but these are the ones that they are featuring in the catalog, and it's all on one page. All right, so anyway, if you're looking for a group of products, referring to page 38 may be very helpful, and also you can look at the index at the back of the catalog. So the thing that they have continued to do, and I'll just share this suite with you, Florals in Bloom. I love how they feature the suite collections, which have a lot of different products in them. Now, this is a mega suite because we've got a pair of stamp sets with matching dies and paper and embellishments and ribbon, etc. Anyway, they give you lots of ideas, so you don't have to start from ground zero. Now, this is one of the ones in this catalog that I love and that I have already begun to get the parts and pieces for. So here is, the stamp set itself, and it has like 3-step stamping to put together, a special stem with the flowers and then with the outline design to bring it together. And you can mix and match different colors, or you can do like 2-step stamping on the flowers, do the solid image by stamping off the color, and then doing the line images, direct from the ink pad so that it's darker and you can see that detail. And then you can see some of the dies in here. By looking on this design, you'll know that these dies are in here in addition to other dies, okay? And then I said this was a mega suite because there is a second stamp set with more dies that also kind of, these can go together very easily. Okay. And then the beautiful paper packet here. What are they calling this? Florals in Bloom. So they match and accent the flowers that are in these two bundles. So when you get dies and a stamp set together, it's called a bundle. And then you get a 10% discount, or you also get that discount if you buy all of this together in the suite. Okay, and they have these beautiful gems as a part of this. Sorry about that. All right, and then they go on to even show you more detail about how you can use this suite. And know that the paper is actually hand painted, and then that's how our designers create the designer series paper. And then there's an idea about how to create a whole set of these cards that go together. And then more ideas telling you how you use the dies and piece them together to create a 3D flower and 3D sentiments. And then here's a project idea of actually using a shadow box to create this, and that could be not only in a shadow box but in a scrapbook, period. Here's another one of the suite collections. Now, as I said, I'm just highlighting some of them for you. There are more in the catalog, but I thought this was so pretty. So this is kind of vintage looking. And this also is a mega suite with 2 different bundles, a stamp set and dies, and another stamp set. And this die set has frames as one of its features. I like that they've been adding those type of things for us so that we can use something very basic over and over in all of our stamping projects. This also has an embossing folder, beautiful embellishments and ribbon, and then this paper. I have to show you. I am going a little gaga over this whole thing. Let's see if I can't just open this and show this to you. Just the top piece of paper alone has got my attention. So, and these are 2-sided. So let's see, we're getting 4 pieces of each paper, and then the vintage kind of look in the back. So we've got a landscape. Check that out, the beautiful florals in the background. Then we've got some, now this looks like what you would have saw in my grandmother's dining room. And then I really like this background. Look at this, just featuring part of this is going to be gorgeous on a card. And these like, this looks like a plaster background, could be on any kind of card. This would be beautiful on a masculine card. I love this old world kind of setting. Wouldn't this be a beautiful, actually sympathy card or thinking of you card, or just frame this? One piece of paper, frame it, and you've got a beautiful design. More vintage look. I love this landscaping. Wow, pencil drawing of trees. I don't know about you, but I think if you're interested in this paper, since this just came out, I would order this one right away because I think this is going to sell out. That would be my sense of it. This is amazing. Here we've got some more beautiful designs. Like I said, masculine cards, perfect. Father's Day's coming up. You could use some of this for Father's Day and some of it for Mother's Day between the 2 types of images. And then you could do it for anybody that you care about because these are so pretty. Wow. Now this one, I don't know how I'd use it, but I love the other side so much. And then, you know, the cabin look. And the colors that go with this, I'll remind you, you know, we always have the colors on the back of the packaging. Basic beige, and I really like that new color if you haven't checked it out yet. Basic black, basic gray, calypso coral, cloud cover, one of the new in colors, crumb cake, early espresso, gray granite, lost lagoon, mossy meadow, peach pie, pecan pie, secret sea, which is another new in color, and smoky slate. Anyway, just this alone, I love the paper. I actually bought the paper and didn't get the stamp sets yet because that was my favorite part. I kind of had to pick and choose what I would get as I started ordering for this. But then they go and give us so many ideas right in the catalog about how to use this beautiful suite, right? Okay, then here's a little bit further into the catalog, and I just wanted to share these 2 stamp sets with you. I don't know if you recall in the last catalog, we had the butterfly that you had a die to cut out so that you could open the card and it was like a standalone butterfly. They have one here that is a large cone flower that would be so cool to put on your front of your card and you could actually open it up. The top of the flower is where you could put your little note. And then for kids, this is so fun. It's called Silly Safari Stamp Set. And look at these adorable animals. Now, I don't have, my son is 25 now, so no little kids around. but I have them in my neighborhood, and I'm thinking this is perfect for making things for them. They're just so sweet. So I just wanted to point that out to you. If you have kids or grandkids, this set, oh, could go so far. And then I know we're always looking for sentiment sets. And a lot of times the inside message is the hard part, right? So this set called The Right Words has a lot of those inside words, which are really hard. Forever loved, forever remembered, for sympathy. Happy birthday to someone worth celebrating every single day. And what about this? When you do a thinking of you card, I wish I had the right words for a time like this, but just know how much I love and care about you. I love that. It's in a beautiful font. And this would be for some of those hard to figure out what to say cards. Anyway, so I wanted to point that one out to you on page 89. All right, let's see here. Going back to some of the returning faves. So I just wanted to share that they put natural botanicals back in here. And I am absolutely in love with this. I just wanted to share one card. This was so easy using one. This is die cut from, I think it's Natural Botanicals. But I could take this flower in 2 different colors, which I did with the solid image, and then I did the line image. And using an old embellishment I had, the brush butterflies, and then just the other foliage, I could make this beautiful card. This is so pretty, and this can be masculine or a feminine card, and for so many occasions. And then they still brought back the Delightful Wishes. And this has beautiful dies. And this is has the die to make wishing a layered part of your sentiments with additional small sentiments. And I'll just remind you of kind of the things you can do with that. So this is more the straight stamping of that sentiment. And then this is 2-step stamping. The designer series paper, you may have this and haven't used it yet, or if you have, just you can make out of vellum an envelope aligner. This was with the a dots embossing folder, and then this is actually stamping and using one die cut to get that sentiment cut out, and then using the extra small sentiments. You know, doing the double stamping here, this is a very thin die cut with a shadow die cut and putting them together and popping them up on the card. Let's see, I think that's pretty much the same card as is this. This just shows you how adding some designer series paper to the flap can put that all together. And then here's one where using just some of the stamps that I actually used this stamp set, or this stamp and this stamp, just to make a background. And then the die cut actually cuts out these flowers that I layered with different colored cardstock and the tiny trinkets to embellish this. But anyway, you can make so many cards with this stamp set. And this is a lot of yellow, you know, soft green colors, but you could do it in all kinds of colors, whatever your favorites would be. So just a reminder that that is still available in this catalog. And I was so happy because I have a lot of that paper left because I bought a lot of it because I liked it. So let's see what's next. Then I'll just remind you, as we're coming up to Father's Day, if you have trusty tools or if you don't, you can still get this awesome stamp set. And when it gets a little closer here to Father's Day, I'll bring some of those out and share with you. So here's one of those sets of pages about all the kinds of tools that you can look at and see whether or not they would help in your stamping. And so this is page 102 of the catalog. And so it talks about the heat tool for embossing, the bone folder. I know so many times we think this is so basic, but I'll tell you, I use that on every card. And then the take your pick tool. If you don't have the take your pick tool, that is something I use every time I put down an embellishment. When I'm trying to poke out die cut stuff, there is a brush end. You can buy this to help get the pieces out of your die cuts more easily. Grid paper. I don't have it on my desktop right now, but having grid paper helps you to line things up. It helps you to put your stamps on your acrylic block straight. I really use the grid paper a lot. Our trimmer, it's awesome because it has a scoring blade and a cutting blade together. Sharp paper snips, the ones that I bought when I started stamping, now it's almost 30 years ago, I still have it. Masking paper to help you create images that look like they are coming out forward on images. It helps you to do that. And then that pierce mat, where when we use photopolymer stamps, it provides the cushion for our stamping. These are on page 102 and 103, and it's all in one place for you. And as I said, we already looked at the punches. Also, they've put the embossing folders, and remember, these aren't all that are available. Online exclusives have a number of them. And remember, now we have some of these large embossing folders, and you can make more than one card front at a time if you want. And I happen to have one of them here to show you how pretty that is. Now, this one I actually centered so that I would have the circles going from the center. But I could do an arch of dots and make two at the same time because of the size of these folders. And they are 3D, so they're a very deep image. They're awesome. And those just started coming into our catalog about a year ago, I think, the larger size, and they're incredible. Also, they have gone back to putting designer series paper in one section of the catalog. And wow, so blessed. They are continuing. This is the third year of having, this one is called Perennial Lavender. Now, you guys all know I love purple, but this paper is amazing. I actually made a Mother's Day card, and I'm going to share this in the mystery stamping I'm doing this week on Friday at 10 a.m. to make the mystery card, and it was gorgeous. So don't forget about this paper. Another paper that we really love. Remember also, let me just give you a little, for this stamp set, Perennial Postage and Painted Lavender. This is an old suite that we had. I think you can still get it in the online exclusives. And then each of these are in a bundle with matching dies for the flower part. And then these look like postage stamps and fit the different sentiments. And I'll just kind of give you a overview of using that postage stamp on vellum to create the background. Same here, use the vellum just to soften this up, and use that stamp set. You can see the designer series paper on the back here. How easy was it to just use a solid color here, plus vellum, a little ribbon. Then we had these white butterflies and just adding some gems. And these I think you saw. So these make beautiful cards, and that paper really makes it easy. Okay. And then they brought back, now Country Woods, I don't happen to have that, but that's very popular. Thoughtful Journey is another one where I've gone through a whole pack of this already. Just to show you a few of these. These are where you have the different colored landscapes. And then on the other side, ones that match. I'll tell you, I have found this. I love this for sympathy cards. Just thinking of you cards. So pretty. So that is 6 by 6. You get 48 pieces of this paper. Here's the new one that I shared with you, the beautiful gallery. And I think as we go over to this one then, Splendid Autumn. There was one called Meandering Garden that we've had. Those are gorgeous. There's this really boho vibe one, kind of popular. This was another one that I've already used a whole pack of. Here's what I have left of the second pack. And this was with the butterflies originally. Look at all those pretty colors. Very spring-like. And then on the other side, a different design, but still in those very soft spring-like colors. So this is gorgeous. And once again, that's 48 in this pack too. I like that they brought some paper back. Many times they do not do that. Let's see here. Okay, the gems are kind of all displayed here. Lots of gems they had brought back, which were popular before. So down here on the bottom, frosted dots. Well, these are very pretty, especially if you make shaker cards. The tiny bee trinkets. I tried ordering these. They were out at the end, a month ago. So I'm waiting for them to come back. These are so 3D and they're beautiful on your cards. And now they have loose gold sequins. We had silver sequins in the last catalog. Now we're going to have gold. So I can't wait to get those. Now this won't surprise you at all. The purple fine shimmer gems. Aren't those gorgeous? I use this with the perennial lavender set. Then these are called rainbow dots. This is lemon lolly, azure afternoon, bubble bath, balmy blue, fresh freesia. Very happy, very spring. These are some of the prettiest pearlesque, iridescent pearls, basic jewels. They just shine all different colors. And these are also just gorgeous. They're called Druzy Embellishments, Champagne and White. So actually the card that I used with the Natural Botanicals, this is what I used on that center. But they were larger. We had at one time gotten larger ones. And yeah, iridescent pearl basic jewels. 3 different sizes. All right. So lots of opportunity to add just a little something to your cards. Okay, this is what I was telling you. This is Think Ink, page 130, and it tells you a little bit about the ink, how you can create tone on tone using Versamark. Pigment ink for embossing, stays on is permanent for watercoloring. And if you use stays on ink, you need a special cleaner, which they've put right next to it in the catalog. I love that. And then how you use white ink, very helpful information. So you have a reference. Then there is a page here now. The paper pumpkin information is just in the regular Stampin' Up! Store. And I have to just show you. So this month's paper pumpkin was called Inked Occasions. Actually, it was April's kit. And I made 18 cards out of 9 card kits. So let me show you first the ones that were a part of the card kit itself. Was I had 9 of these envelopes, and then it made 3 of each of these cards. Now, aren't they beautiful? If I just wanted to stick with these card designs, the thing that I did that is different is the card front and back looked like this, but did not have the color. I took cardstock that matched and cut out 6 of these, 6 of these, and 6 of these, and then matched it to the card base, which I cut in half so that I could double the number of cards. So then I took the same paper with what I decided to do berry burst, and I just stamped the front instead of using the die cuts that were in the kit. And I had these 2 cards out of 1 card base. And then, like I said, I used what was provided in the kit for this card, and I used that stamp set I showed you before to do this card. So that's how I doubled that in half. Then I took the same back that was on here, used the pieces that were in the Stampin' or the Paper Pumpkin kit, and then I just used 1 stamp, changed the color that I added, and added those little butterflies to make what would have been 3 cards into 6 cards. And then the third one, I took this same background, and this had this elaborate die cut and sentiment. I just used a stamp from that same stamp set, added a couple of butterflies, and then I took what would have been 3 of these cards and made it into another 6 to get my 18. And then I wanted an envelope that would be a little wow for these additional ones, and I used my blending brushes and those same colors to just do the envelope flap. And I made 9 envelopes, so I had 9 that looked like this and 9 that looked like this. So what an easy way to get a lot of cards out of a basic kit where I didn't have to do a lot of thinking. And that's just an example of the possibilities you can get in the monthly subscription program of getting a kit that has a stamp set, an ink spot, your card bases, your envelopes, and die cuts, as well as ideas. All right. And then the new thing that is really a focus of mine and that they're doing is let's get people together and have them come to our home, or let's meet somewhere and do some stamping. If you are interested in even getting a discount on products and want to create gatherings and help introduce people to stamping, you can surely do that. And there is a new promotion this month for $165 worth of product for just $99. Plus, you'll get some additional things in that starter kit. And if you're interested, don't hesitate to contact me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. And then the last thing in the catalog, I'll just remind you, there is an index. If you're looking for something, use the index. And then lastly, if you want to sell cards that you make or just put a cool little thing on the back, there is an angel policy that if you sell things that you make with Stampin' Up products, that you put this on there that you've used Stampin' Up products. It's called the angel policy. And plus it's nice. I would stamp something like this. They've had different renditions of this over the years. And then I just put my initials on the year. And then lastly, to not forget that we have products online. You can use this QR code and land right on our online exclusives, or you can go to my Stampin' Up store and get access to those online exclusives as well. So I'm not sure if you have any questions about what you saw today, but I'm excited with these new products to do some things and show you some new things. And let me know what you're interested in and if you have questions about any of these products that you've seen. Mary Ellen, hello and thank you. I'm glad that you liked some of the cards that I was able to show you. And the other thing is, so if you're watching this, I want to give you another bonus. In addition to this free tutorial that I'll send you. Anybody that orders from the new catalog by Friday, so we're talking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I will give you $5 cash back in the mail. So I will send you a beautiful card that you can use and $5 cash. So don't hesitate. Make sure if there's something you really like that you order it right away, because it may be something that others really like too. And it may run out and you may have to wait to get those same products at a later time. So with that being said, let me just go back to this and say thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, if you need a catalog, reach out to me. If you need questions answered or you have trouble placing an order, don't hesitate. I'm here to help you. So take care, stamping friends, and I can't wait to see you soon. Hopefully you'll join us for the mystery stamping crap on Friday. And that information will be here on my business page. And it was also in my weekly email. And otherwise, I will see you next week. I'm going to be having that class, Floral Fun Folds, and also our regular card making lesson. So look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you and happy stamping. Bye-bye.